I might be a tool, but I'm a useful tool.
This is the B Team intro song. Ow, that was my foot.
Hey, I'm Riley. I'm with my co-defendants Maisie, Garrett, Million, and today we're talking about AI, Procreate, digital artwork, and all that other nerd stuff that nobody understands. Okay, Maisie, what in the hell's with this AI thing? I don't understand.
It's a great question. I don't know much either. I'm hoping maybe Garrett can help us out there and answer some questions.
I do know a thing or two about AI. I've been spending the past 2 years figuring it out and trying to make it work, in addition to some of our other processes that we do as tattooers.
Nerd.
Yeah, it is some nerdy stuff. I know it's very polarizing how people feel about AI and the use. I'm simply suggesting that we use it for different reference photos. There's another step. You still have to tattoo the
Meow.
thing. Instead of Googling the same skull, the same images, we now have a larger database to find photos.
Are you talking about ChatGPT or what?
ChatGPT can work, absolutely. I do find that using Midjourney is much more thorough and there's more control for what we do.
Best product out there right now.
In my opinion, yeah. You can control the aspect ratio, you can control the sizes, you can edit photos in Midjourney now.
What turned you onto AI as a resource? It's such a new platform, but I feel like you've been invested in that for quite a while. So what helped you get on that when so many people were anti?
Our friend Joshua Carlton turned me onto it. I played around with it a little bit and realized what it was actually capable of. And it hasn't stopped.
There was quite a controversy when you specifically came out with AI and started teaching it like Evergreen and different shows around the country and things like that. And there was quite a few people that were like, meow. At least I draw and all that type of stuff. I don't understand why you would be adverse to having an endless reference library that's 100% authentic and different every time you use it. Like that's like a fantasy.
If you're against the change, what I want you to do is I want you to look back to 1990 tattoo magazines and all of that. Just the average artist right now. If they went in a time machine and went back to 1990, they're doing that nobody else could have done back then. A technical advantage over virtually any artist back in the 90s.
The world has changed. Tattooing has changed. The room for error is so much smaller. A wasted hour of tattooing is $150, $200.
We don't get our time back. People are buying our time. They're not paying me to sit at home and draw till midnight and totally neglect my family, whatever it is. I'm not getting paid for that. If you don't like it, that's fine. I don't care.
Million, you are the Procreate master. You've got that stuff down. Now, when Procreate came out, that revolutionized tattooing. Now you've got AI to marry with that. How hard has that crossover been?
The marriage between the two is pretty easy. If you remember back when Procreate came out, it was the same arguments that we're having for AI, is that with the undo button, you lose something in the translation, and you do, but you have to subsidize that with actual traditional drawing and painting. As far as those two merging together, they can copy and paste an image off of Midjourney and put it in their Procreate app, make a stencil, and get right to tattooing. But that's no different than it was when they were doing it with Google and Photoshop.
Flash on the wall, same thing.
It's the same thing. That's the way I see it. It's just making things easier and faster.
Million, what do you think sets Procreate apart from other platforms?
Procreate is what Procreate has been since it came out. It's gotten a few things added, like smart objects, ability to add text, things like that. There's few things, but by and large, since the moment it came out, which I've had it since, it really hasn't changed. It's simple, easy, clean UI, pretty straightforward. And that's why it's grown in such popularity. It also costs you like $15 for the license, period. I started using digital art with Photoshop and PaintShop Pro. Like the first year or two of my career, I started using that stuff. So 20 plus years, I've been using digital art, and quite a few evolutions come through. Push comes to shove, I'm going to use Procreate.
But you can still draw, right, Million?
All day long.
How often do you draw?
Every day. Digital art is a tool that needs to be used like a tool. If you need the Wi-Fi on so you can download it from the internet, so you can send it to your Bluetooth printer just to make the stencil so you can trace it, you are at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's where it becomes a crutch rather than a tool to be used.
Very well said.
So what do you guys do to exercise not using it as a crutch?
Every October, I do a thing called Drawloween. Every day for the month of October, it's a sketch, it's a drawing of some prompt. And while Million does it every day, 365 days a year, it's really hard for me to do it for 31 days, let me tell you. But I'm doing it for fun.
Draw 10 minutes. You're just building a habit of doing it. I also gamify my entire drawing life, turning it into a game. But I was essentially, every time I made a drawing, I was collecting loot. And then after you collect enough loot, you level up. And that's the key to honing your skill. Art, I strongly believe, is all about being able to see. You cannot do that if all you do is digital art in Midjourney. Knowing how to draw an apple, for example, and knowing all the areas of where light hits the surface and all the anatomy of a shadow will help you realize that there's 3 bad light sources in that Midjourney image. You only needed one. It went too far. But you won't know that unless you've spent the time to learn it.
For those of you that are still here at the end, today we were talking about AI art for reference. We talked a little bit about digital art, such as Procreate, its uses, its shortcomings. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. We do plan on doing a Q&A. If you guys want to hear a topic, if you guys want to argue with us, nobody cares. Leave it in the comments below.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.